And, as age of us always keeping our face in our phones and our desktops that we have to work on all day long, we crave these connections. That's why a lot of us are struggling so badly through the quarantine. It doesn't even matter if you're extrovert or introvert. At this point, extroverts are like, I miss being with people. Introverts are like, I miss my house being empty. Please leave,
But I think as an introvert, you do start to miss people, because I'm an introvert and I love being alone. That's how I recharge my batteries. But you do reach a point where you're like, I want to, like whereas extroverts, I think, are suffering right away. Like introverts still get there. You know what I mean? But
for sure. Yeah. I think you nailed it, right? The introvert extrovert really is more about how you recharge your batteries. You recharge it alone by reading a book, hanging out, watching whatever, getting your alone time. I recharge by going and hanging out with people and having their energy feed on me. Mm-hmm. That's fine. But board games, they do a lot of this for us too, like what you're speaking to, right? Like when I play a board game with somebody for an hour, whether we talked about anything personal or not, I feel like I know them better, even though I didn't learn anything about them really, there's just that shared space. It just does something.
Well, I think there's a lot of meta information translated when you do play a game. I think you see how people behave, how they orient themselves in the game, if they're risk takers or if they're more conservative, if they're, looking long game or short game, like
jerk, not a jerk.
Yeah.
You find that out. Yeah. Pretty quick.
Competitive, not competitive.
Some people have to win. They have to win. It doesn't matter. It's just a game. No, I have to win. I have to win.
Yeah, I love that. To me, like a board game is that you're exposing people to processes, like a book is not a process. It's like a written thing, and you can talk about it and that's great. But you watching someone work through something with their mind. It's one of the reasons I love improv so much, is watching people's minds work is delightful. Like I love watching people think about stuff and solve problems. Like it's great. And doing that with them is or against them or whatever is delightful. So.
And seeing the surprise they get to them from themselves of like, oh, I didn't know that was what I was going to say. And those are the moments of delight for me in improv, is just where you surprise yourself.
And very similar to improv. I think Joseph, I saw earlier when you sat down at the camera, you got your D&D shirt on. It's very similar, right? Like D&D is improv, right? It is acting in improv. So it's very interesting to see people have even surprised themselves with some of the reactions that their character would do in a D&D session.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch people play. Role-playing games are like huge now because of Critical Role and stuff and all the streaming and everything. And it's so interesting to watch people kind of get really excited about basically improvising. I mean, because it's like it is kind of a gate. Like I played those games before I became an improviser, but it is almost like it could be a gateway to improvisation. And I think improv, like everybody should learn to improvise. I think everybody should take at least one improv class, because it's
I say you say that, but I do know people that would their personality type, it would absolutely terrify them, right?
A lot of people. No, there's a lot of people who are terrified.
I think just about everyone. I think even experienced improvisers will tell you, this was the most nervous thing I've ever done. That's
why you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you do improv, is because it's terrifying, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Again, you bring this up. Yesterday I took my first voice acting workshop, and a lot of the conversation was around that. And I could even see, like, he had everybody go around. It was still by Zoom, but we were going around and he would have a block of text for us to read. And, when it got to your turn, you're like, well, there's only 15 people watching me, but all these things are running through your head. Like, are people going to think I'm a fucking idiot? Are they going to think what I just did was terrible? And, by the end, you could see everybody kind of, their shoulders relaxed, and everybody's like, okay, we all suck equally at this, except one person. One person was like so good. I think they were.
There's always that person. There's always that person. It's so depressing. It's like,
and then he was all like, your voice has such an interesting quality. I was like, shut up, teacher's pet. Freaking jerks come in with your talent.
They might have been just as freaked out as you were. You never know.
It's something I often tell my students is like, go and don't just watch good improv. You know what I mean? Don't watch Whose Line Is It Anyway? That you'll be depressed if you watch that. You don't want to watch people. And plus they edit out just the best segments. Like, if you want to be a good improviser, if you're just starting out, go see some bad improv. You're in Los Angeles. There's plenty of bad improv you can go and see that you watch and go like, I can be at least better than those people. You know, it's like, or as good
try
as
and learn from their mistakes.
Oh,
that I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Yeah. Oh, I like that. How do I do more of that?
Yeah. So I think
one of the things he really pressed, and I may not need to give away his secret since they're, it's a paid class, but it was he was like, one of the things about voice acting is there was quite a few of us. I'm going to include myself in this bucket. That when you got a piece and it said, okay, this person's has a regretful tone, you poured on the acting, right? You're like, oh, you really exaggerated things. He was like, no. He's like, you got to feel the regret. He's like, close your eyes and put yourself in that place. Be that character. You're not acting it. He's like, you're feeling it. And then say it as you feel it. He's like, then it'll come across genuine, not as put on. And you're like, oh, damn, that's good.
Joseph, I forgot to science this.
Oh,
I'll science it. I didn't science it.
I'll science it.
I rednecked it. Here? If that helps.
I'll do some science. Did we even, that one night when you came over and we drank some, did we science it?
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. I'm going to science
That was just like one of the last nights before the full quarantine went into effect.
Yeah, that was like the last time we could see each other in person for real. So
yeah, except for 6 feet apart where I just like leave it at your door and then step back and go, hi.
Hello. Yeah. And we and we played the Angry Goose game, right?
Yes.
What is it? The evil
Untitled
goose game?
Untitled
Goose game. Like we took turns. It was me and Andrew and Ash were that's all we did. It was so fun and drank scotch. It was a really good time. All right. Putting a drop of water in there. Let's see what this does.
See if you like it or not.
Ooh. I'm not a fan of the nose. It really, because that nose is so delightful and has all those nice acids in it and that fiery. This is pretty flat. I don't like, so far I'm not a fan of the nose.
Knock down the nose. That's not good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing the science.
We can let James do the science later. It'll be hilarious. Let the guy from the 49th in education state go.
No,
I love that you're third personing yourself too. Wait to let James do it in the future. It's like, who is coming in behind you?
That guy? Well, I mean, I'll wear my redneck hat. It's fine. Embrace it,
It's all about lowering expectations. Then we'll be surprised by everything, right?
Yeah.
No, I think I love to hear, like, whoever our guests are. I think all of our guests have always been like, I don't know anything about Scotch. I mean, except for a couple of them. But to me, it's like other people's experiences are what make it interesting. Like, there's no, I don't think people have necessarily a refined palate. I mean, I guess some people do. But Scotch has so many bold flavors that I just find it great to hear what people think of it.
It's a wonderful experience, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think of the water? No,
it's not. It's just much less everything. It's like before it was like, ha, and now it's like, ah.
Before it jumped out from behind a tree, now it just kind of like stands behind a bush where you can see it and going, I'm going to scare you.
Yeah, this is like Johnny Depp in like the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie, or this is like Johnny Depp in the most recent Harry Potter movie, like the Crimes of Grindelwald or whatever. That's the first one was like Harry Potter was like it was like Johnny Depp in the first Pirates, and this is like Johnny Depp in the most recent.
Ouch. Yeah, so. Or I'm sorry, as Parker would say, my 11-year-old, oof. That's a big oof. Oof. I get all the Fortnite talk in my house, y'all. So if I pop off any of that, you'll just have to like.
If you pop up and start dancing, we'll know.
You don't have to worry about that. not my skill set.
Okay, good.
I mean, we're pretty early into the Scotches. Who knows where this is going to go?
That's true. That's true.